Once again, welcome back. This is AkronHipHop.com. This is the website. This is the blog where we concentrate on issues affecting our community. When you see me, you're looking at black consciousness, black intelligence, and of course, black love
is in the building. What's up with you, brother?
This weekly cipher, man, I wanted to talk a little bit, since this is February, about Malcolm X.
You know what? Everybody's been talking about Malcolm X. I look on the Facebooklet, I look in the YouTube, I look under all my favorite YouTube channels. Everybody talking about that Netflix documentary. Is that what we're talking about today?
Yes, sir.
So we finally, here at AkronHipHop.com, BlackRhinoHio.com, is going to actually talk about what's going on in this documentary.
I watched this, I just recently signed up for Netflix about a month ago. I didn't realize how many subscribers Netflix actually has.
Right.
They have like 165 million subscribers. That's a lot of people.
Yes.
Viewing their content. But one of the things about this documentary, there's 6 parts of the documentary that struck out that's different from the other documentaries, is that in this documentary they actually name the names of the people who was actually involved.
Involved in what?
Involved in the assassination of Malcolm X. They identify them by name on camera. Not some books, it's been known in books and writing and stuff, but people don't read, but they actually put it on camera, something different from the other documentaries I've seen over the years. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say this too, I didn't just study Malcolm X last week. I've been, I've been into this about, over 20 years. So all the documentaries I've seen before, none is like this one. And they actually had the people that worked for the FBI, that worked for the NYPD, still alive, that worked against the OAU, worked against Malcolm X. They're in the documentary too. The FBI man said he got 5 informants inside the ballroom. You know what I'm saying?
Say that in what ballroom? What are you talking about?
Audubon Ballroom.
The day he got dealt that final death blow, they had undercover people in the damn
That's right. And when you see the police chief being interviewed, the reporter's asking him, did you have any police in the ballroom? This is what he said. He said we had no uniformed police in the ballroom. He didn't say we didn't have no police. We didn't have no uniformed police in the ballroom. See, there's a distinction in this answer.
Right.
Now, you got to
listen to what somebody's saying.
You got to pick up on
hear
that.
what they really saying. You can find out the truth.
And one of the things that struck me out, man, was first of all, for the people who don't know, man, 2 innocent men spent over 20 years in prison for a crime they didn't commit. They weren't arrested at the ballroom. They weren't even there. One of the defendants, his doctor, testified for him at the trial and said, no way my client could have been there because he couldn't even walk.
What?
So the 2 people who went with Thomas Hare as far as this trial, they had other charges hanging over their head. It was convenient just to make it an open and shut case. And when you read the history books, it says 3 black Muslims convicted of such and such, but only one of them was actually there. The other 4 men got away, and then 2 other innocent men were arrested along with Thomas Hare. Now, I want to talk about this guy, Thomas Hare. Hagen, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. He came out of New Jersey, and he had confessed later on to his co-conspirators. He gave the names. He gave it to William Kunstler to open up the case. The government didn't want to do it. The Congressman William Hughes from New Jersey, he tried to get the case reopened in 83. Didn't want to touch it. But this is an article, man, I found out going through my files. This is from November of '92, Albany, New York. That's where Thomas Hare was in prison, upstate New York. He said, he said, Thomas Hagen, refused to name the person who offered the money for the 3 accomplices. And he testified at court that he was not a Muslim. So if he was not a Muslim, he was not a member of Mosque number 25 in Newark, New Jersey. That's what he said.
Wow. Look at that. He got documented. I
That's
like
what he
when he bringing up.
That's what he said. And he exonerated his co-defendants, the 2 innocent men. They didn't even know each other. You know what I'm saying? They had trial together, but they don't. These 2 men don't even know Thomas Hagen. Like, who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? So, and also, I didn't bring all my paperwork, but within Malcolm's organization, you find out that through the Freedom of Information Act documents, that his OAU, Muslim House Incorporated, was heavily infiltrated. Okay.
Right.
One of the main people, was his own bodyguard, Gene Roberts. He was an undercover boss agent, Bureau of Special Services. That's a division within the NYPD or something like the FBI. And he was his main one. And I say something about Gene Roberts. his name came up initially in the early 1970s during the Panther 21 trial. You know who brought it up?
Who that?
Afeni Shakur's lawyers.
Get up out of here.
That's right.
Let people know who Afeni Shakur is.
Afeni Shakur is Tupac's mother. In the 1970s, a lot of the people who left the OAAU joined the Black Panther chapter in New York. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Shakur's, last name Shakur. But her defense attorneys brought up his name during the Panther 21 trial. And she was calling him out during the trial. Like, wait a minute, you were working in Malcolm's organization. How could you be credible in testifying against somebody? That's the history of Gene Roberts. That was in the court. You didn't have internet and all that back then. He came up on camera in '92 after the Malcolm X movie came out. They did a documentary called The Real Malcolm X. And he's on camera actually exposing himself to everybody to see. And it's just interesting, man, that people don't know these are what I call just some basic things. That's why the subject of Malcolm X comes up. I always I see what people know as far as just some basic things, and then I know how further to go. If they're not grounded in some basic information, I don't even get off into this and that because they don't even. They're not grounded in just some basic information. But Gene Roberts, man, he was an undercover false agent. And there was two men that were arrested initially. It was Gene Roberts and the second man. The second man had dropped from the scene, and nobody heard about him later on. But Dr. Wesley Muhammad exposed him a few months ago. That was another false agent in the ballroom.
Hey, man. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the documentary?
Compared to the other ones that's been out, I say 8.
Wow, it's up there.
Because they're actually putting the names out there in their faces. They had traced this guy, man. They had traced these people back to New Jersey. He went to New Jersey, man, to find this person. Found his old high school yearbook.
And did he say so
the guy died in 2000? The trigger man died in 2018. He's already been identified.
Right. His
description, his physical description. He's already been. The FBI already knows.
They never did no time for it.
Never did no time for it.
Why do you think they never did any time?
I'll tell you why. That's a good question. I want you to hear me out there in video land. New Jersey has always been, within the Black American Muslim history, New Jersey has always been a renegade state.
What do you mean by renegade state?
I mean renegade state meaning you're doing your own thing. You have people who are involved in criminal activity, having Muslim names or associated with this one or that one. They're doing their own thing, man. You can start with the people who came out of New Jersey to kill Malcolm. You can start with the people who killed the minister of Mosque number 25, James Shabazz. He was killed by a group called the New World of Islam. You can go on Facebook and check them out. They're all criminals. Most of them are in jail right now. There's a famous urban fiction author named Wahida Clark. She's a black woman. She's part of the New World of Islam. They're a bunch of criminals. That's what they are, a bunch of criminals. You can have an Islamic name or whatever, but they're a bunch of criminals. And also, I want to say this too, speaking of New Jersey, everybody remember Khalid Muhammad, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, remember he gave the speech in King College that stirred up?
I got it on DVD, you know that?
But check this out. I got one he gave a week before that. A week before that, he spoke at the Slade Theater in New York. This before King College even happened. He said, before I even get started, I want to clear the air. He said, there's rumors going around about me that I had left the nation and I got kicked out. He said, the source of all these rumors is coming out of New Jersey. That's what he said a week before King College. Now you tell me what's going on. Something was brewing before that King College even happened. That's the point I'm making.
Right.
I got it on tape. The title of the message is called Farrakhan and the Jews, Should Black People Be Confused? That's the title of the message. That's what he said.
Wow.
That's what he said. So, we can go on Malcolm X all day long, man, but I just want to put that out, man, that go see the documentary, but see it in a proper context. Get grounded in some fundamental information. Stop putting your name on Farrakhan. Stop putting your name on somebody who wasn't even there. Malcolm was killed in front of 400 people. 400 people. He wasn't killed in no back alley. 400 people. Not one person ever said the name of Farrakhan. So stop putting somebody's name in the mud, man, that wasn't even there. Get the facts right. These people have already been identified as early as 1965. The New York Post, February 24th, 3 days after Malcolm was killed. Malcolm's killers known. They already say there's 5 men involved. They already know this stuff. I'm not telling you nothing that they don't already know.
You ever heard of the book, The FBI Files of Malcolm X?
I have that. I almost brought it with me. All it is a compilation of documents released through the Freedom of Information Act. And it tells you how some of them are blocked out, but it tells you how Malcolm I mean,
he was tracked from beginning.
Tracked, people watching you, people listening to you. One guy's in the documentary that used to listen to his phone calls. He said, I knew he picked up on the second ring. You know, he's right there on camera, man.
So the book, the FBI Files, is really, it's not a book, it's really records of
compilation of records.
Right. From when he was Malcolm Little, bro.
Compilation records.
You know what brought the heat on him at first?
Brought the heat on who?
Malcolm, why the FBI was following him so young. Before he was even Detroit Red.
Because his father.
That's right. You better say it.
And one thing about his father, man, a lot of people don't know, not just his father was killed, his uncles were killed too. So he grew up with not having a black male figure in his life because they've been killed.
Now tell him why his father was associated with what great movement?
His father was a organizer and head of the chapter for UNIA chapter for the Honorable Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why he was killed. His brothers were killed too. Earl Little's brothers were killed too. So
Earl Little is Malcolm's daddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Earl Little's.
So basically, Malcolm actually he was fertilized with his father's teachings from the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Yeah.
Okay. So by the time he went to jail, he was already primed, ready, seasoned. Because they say when you're young and you're given the right foundation, it's going to sprout with the right wordplay.
You gotta understand, not Baines, not the character of Malcolm X movie, but it was one of Malcolm's brothers that would visit Malcolm in prison that mentioned to him some things that caught Malcolm's attention.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And once he heard that, the light came on. You know what I'm saying?
All that stuff was there.
And he became an avid reader. Him and his partner Shorty, Malcolm Jarvis, they became avid readers, man. And he was reading so much, that's when he needed glasses. He was reading, after the lights go out, he was still trying to read. But, you know, it just goes to show with any of us, man, once that spark is lit inside of you, you know, your quest for knowledge never stops. It never stops. It's not a part-time thing or, no, it's just a lifelong quest, man. And it never stops.
That's the truth, brother. Also, if you raise with the right understanding, and if you got kids, you also should know, sometimes kids stray. A kid will stray. Some of them don't go too far, but they'll stray a little bit. But Malcolm strayed kind of far. Then when he went to jail, he got fertilized with the right teachings that was similar to the initial teachings he got from his dad. So he heard the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, activated what was already there, baby.
And I want to say this too, to those who don't know. Malcolm, this was on TV, on Gil Novo's show, Tell It Like It Is. And also I got it in a documentary, an auto recording of Malcolm actually talking. He made a tape of his own private message. But he was trying to get back in the nation.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people don't know that. He was trying to get back in the nation. Like he saw that this thing is, they're going to use this thing. You know, it's a hidden hand that's going to use this situation to kill two birds with one stone. So, he was trying to get back in the nation. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. That's a fact.
So again, do you think this, in closing, I'm sorry, do you think this documentary was a good thing to bring up the whole Malcolm X thing?
Because you're bringing people out that's been hiding. The guy that for the NYPD who was in charge of working against the OAU, he's coming out and hiding. The FBI guy, the assistant district attorney in New York, they have to come out of hiding now. And all these things, they have Malcolm's dead body in color on the gurney. You know, they have all this stuff. You know, they got the bullets that recovered. They got the color. Not my black and white pictures. They got color pictures and all that. They got all this stuff hidden, locked away in secret rooms, secret safes. And this guy that was doing the documentary, he actually went through it and saw all this stuff and got it on camera. But I'm just letting
they showed that on the
yes.
documentary.
I'm just showing people, man. The information is already known. It's just the public that's always duped and fooled. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smart, man. You can't be going for the okie doke every time. All the assassinations, the main assassinations in the '60s, Malcolm X, Dr. King, JFK, Robert Kennedy. None of the official stories is true. None of them. You can debate me in the comment section. You can debate me in person. I done been through it all, man. None of the official stories is actual truth.
I don't think nobody can debate you, brother.
Man, I'm just saying. People be they believe anything, man. And let me say this too. I saw Spike Lee in Cleveland back in October of '92. The movie came out in November. He came in Cleveland in October '92.
What movie came out in November?
Malcolm X movie.
Okay.
Wednesday, November 18th, 1992 to be exact. Because that week, the Jackson 5 movie was on TV. And I missed part 3, because Wednesday was part 3, and I went to see Malcolm X. But anyway, in October, he came to Cleveland and spoke at the Cleveland Convocation Center. It's probably called something else now, but the building's probably still there. But he was showing clips in the movie for the first time. He said it's the first time the public has actually seen clips of the movie. He already had it in his mind that he wanted Denzel to play Malcolm X's role. But he said after Bo Better Blues, he knew Denzel was going to be his role. But he mentioned some other people who had approached him that wanted this role, man. And you gonna laugh, but he had this was Spike Lee said. That's what I said. He said he mentioned Lawrence Fishburne. I can see Lawrence.
I can see that.
Okay,
I see Lawrence Fishburne.
But check this out.
As Nat Turner though.
But when he said Eddie Murphy, man, everybody started laughing.
What the hell?
The whole audience started laughing, and that's what he said.
Wow, yeah,
that's what he said. Can you imagine
that,
man? No.
That would have been a good. Like I said, I can see anytime I envision the Nat Turner story. I never thought they would ever bring it to the screen, but when I did, I said it'd be Lawrence Fishburne to play Nat Turner. That was my vision of the movie. But thank God my man put out the movie. I've got his name. Who put out the movie? Nat Turner?
I don't even know, man.
It'll come across the screen. I got it.
Okay.
It's called Birth of a Nation.
You're right. I haven't seen Harriet Tubman yet. Birth of a Nation, man. You know that was the original Birth of the Nation.
I know what it was.
You know that was shown at the White House.
I know.
President Woodrow Wilson had a showing of the Birth of the Nation at the White House.
I know.
And that spanned that grew the membership of the Klan. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? He had
so that's why they named the Nat Turner movie Birth of a Nation as a kind of a mockery of the original, kind of mockery.
Yeah, it came out in 1913, distributed by MGM Studios, which is owned by a Jewish man. But that's how the movie got popular. But
you didn't see Birth of a Nation?
No, I didn't.
You got to see that.
I didn't.
Man, you got to see that. I tell you what, I'll let you use my Birth of a Nation. You let me use your Hidden Colors 15. Okay.
It's only 5.
5.
Art of Warfare. That's part 5.
Take us out of here, man.
Brother G Mack, tune in next week to another edition of Weekly Cyber. Peace.